Hey everyone, so I just logged back in onto the server and I didn't realize this, but I ended up leaving myself AFK for like a really long time, like probably 20 hours. So my base has had a lot of the side effects of that, including all my farms being full, like oh my god, and my nether portal spawned like a million pigmen just roaming around my base, man. They're just all over the place. Look at these guys. Oh my god, what is that? What? What? Oh my god. Alright. We'll just leave those guys there. And then, yeah, this thing's full. Oh. What was that? Okay, that didn't break anything. I guess I should kill them if they're gonna be doing that. Ooh. Alright, we'll leave it like that. Alright, so basically, I have a ton of resources now. I'm pretty sure the iron farm's gonna be full too. I guess another cat just aspirated into my base. He moved. I had him there before. I don't know how he moved. maybe all the zombie pigmen pushed him around, right? So a quick update. Something really bad happened for me. I'd gotten all the footage for episode 4 made, and I was editing it together, and I wanted to take a break. I didn't do it all in one sitting. I generally don't. It takes me a few days to get one out. And I went back and looked, and I had like hundreds of gigabytes of just raw footage of me doing stuff that I wasn't using. So I went through and deleted it, and I kind of deleted all the files in episode 4. So they don't exist anymore. I can't make up the old episode 4. So now, basically, a massive chunk of what I've done is just missing. So I need to update you on what's happened. So first of all, we've done like some really minor additions to the base, not really much. We moved the potion brewing area up here, and we put this thing here just to get up quicker. Kind of nice, no big deal. And underneath here, you can see we've covered up the old brewing room. That room kind of sucked anyway. But the reason I'm doing that is because I want to have a secret room for later. So, as you heard, I'm going to be teaming up with Monty, and we're going to be doing, we're going to be our own team. So, I want to have a secret space, and she's going to have one at her area too. And what we're going to do is we're going to build some Ender Pearl stasis units there, so that whenever we want to, rather than like flying through the nether to meet up, we can just summon each other with a button press. So that'll be really cool. But obviously we don't want to leave that out in the open because somebody's totally gonna abuse that. So we're gonna make it a little bit hidden, you know? So that's gonna be lots of fun. Now, on the other hand, I've done quite a few other things, including a lot of villager trading for emeralds. I was selling off my pumpkins and melons a lot. And I also made a gold farm very recently. And on top of that, I used those emeralds I got to buy a ton of glass, and I still have emeralds left over. It's great. But I think the first thing we're going to check out is going to be that gold farm. So I'm going to go ahead and fly out there real quick. So you'll actually see two main structures here. And basically, I made a gold farm, and then I made a little tiny piglin trading spot. Just an automatic one, but a really small one. It's only got 4 piglins in it. So, you know, nothing massive, didn't take too long. Yeah. Basically though, the gold farm's the more interesting part. So I went with the logical Geek Boy design, but I cut off the corners and turned them into circles so that the mobs die a little bit faster, because it was hitting the mob cap like really quickly beforehand. And if I fly up here, I can actually go ahead and give you a look at how good it is. So I made 6 platforms, and I made a circle that was a radius of 13. And it's actually like really quick for like how simple this thing is. Like, look at this. And the other part that we have is actually the item collection. So this thing makes more than 9,000 items per hour, which means that it could not be stored on only hopper speed. We had to make something a little bit more fancy than that. Now, this is basically a mixture of an item sorter and our modded auto crafting on the server. So basically what this is we have our 5x5 collection spot where all the zombies land on, and it just sends our items straight all the way down through 5 separate lines. So these lines do two things. The final hopper here, it goes into a gold sorter and a dropper that shoots into fire. So the idea is that any gold that lands is going to go down into this hopper, because the hoppers will send items down before they send them to the side. So we'll make sure that it sends the gold down and doesn't randomly put it in the dropper, and it will send the rotten flesh or any other garbage that gets thrown on there into the fire. So I went with simple instead of like collecting the rotten flesh for like selling or whatever, just because I wanted to save item space, because we're still having that struggle, you know, we don't have infinite shulker boxes yet, so I wanted to just not deal with the rotten flesh at all. It wouldn't be too hard to add a rotten flesh collection module either, just, you know, replace this with a chest, right? So the real cool stuff though is this auto crafter. So the way our auto crafting works on our server is you have a dropper with the recipe in it, you have an inventory behind it, or anywhere touching it, and you have to have a crafting table touching it too. And it will then craft those items and send them into the inventory they're facing. So we send the gold from the sorter into this chest, which is the input for the crafting dropper, which then gets shot into here, and then it gets stored. And the outside ones don't get very much use, but as you can see, it definitely produces some. It's pretty good, considering this isn't a player killed or a looting one. Very nice. And lastly, we have our little, what do you call it? Our little piglin bartering spot. And this thing is super simple. This one's logical geek boy circuit, and basically it's just you put the gold in here and it splits it between these two, and it will then shoot it out once you set it off. I have a button down there to get it started, but after that it'll chain on its own. It just shoots a gold out, and because the piglin's on a piece of carpet, they're tall enough to pick it up, and they just grab the gold, they do their thing, and once they pick it up, it lets go of the pressure plate, which will repower the redstone torch, and that will power the dropper again, and it'll keep going. So all you have to do is load it up and then kickstart it, and it'll go. It doesn't have any gold in it right now though, but I've been using it some, and we've gotten a lot of good stuff, so it's been very helpful. And I even got the soul speed and finally renamed my boots. So now we can say we have fully perfect armor. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm thinking the next thing is, if you remember, Jeremy and Dark left some rather mean reviews about my shop back in the shopping district. So I think we should go pay them a visit. Now, if you didn't know, Jeremy's currently out of town right now, so like he's gone, and pretty much he's not really watching over his base. So we could probably do some stuff to it, and we'd be able to get away with it. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to go ahead and think about it some, and I'll get back with what I think of. Hey, so we're here in Jeremy's base now, and wow, I have to say, he's got it looking pretty, man. He's got the organics going on. So my idea here is kind of a small one, but I mean, he left a sign. I don't need to do anything insane, right? Let's not be rash here. What I want to do is put a little like thing back there. I want to have an armor stand, and I want to put my head on it, and I want to put a sign like in the aquarium that says like, "You dare leave a bad review for my shop," and it'll just be like an armor stand with my head back there. It'll be a little bit subtle, but like I think he'll notice it, and it'll be funny. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I have all the stuff for doing that, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in there. Alright, and we're back. I just got the armor. I went ahead and got some enchanted diamond armor, so it'll be nice and shiny. And we'll go ahead and pop that in and see how visible it is now. Oh! Whoops. Yeah. Let's go. Alright. Oh, I heard a dolphin die. Oh, whoops. Okay. Well, we're behind it. Put you on, and you on. There we go. Alright, let's go have a look. Oh, that's very... Yeah, now you can see it. Oh, man. That's going to stand out so much. Awesome. And lastly, we need to just leave his stuff in the chest, you know, so he knows that we weren't really griefing. There we go. That works, yeah, sure. Alright. And I think our job here is done. We've left ourselves a little mark, you know. A slight injustice to me. I'm gonna do something slight to you, you know, right? I mean, that's just fair. He asked for this. So, we'll see where this takes us. So, I've been up here for a bit, watching my gold farm. Not really watching, I've been AFK really. I've been working out a problem with emits for me actually, but I was thinking, I'm pretty sure we can make this thing even faster for something not really too difficult to do. So, I don't have any pack spawning on this farm at all. So this is all just like the raw spawns. And it's still like not really too far from mob cap at times. And of course it goes all low as it could go, right as I said that, but I've had times where it's up to like 60, so I think that we could even maybe get this thing a little bit faster by adding just a few layers of non-spawnable blocks around the top layer. So I might try that and see if we can get it even faster, because I'm pretty sure this storage solution is actually keeping up with it now. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. Look at that. Alright, and how long was I here? I was not here for very long at all, and we already have quite a bit of fuel. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get my shulker box of glass and get it clicking. And we're back, and I have it in, so that is 6 layers around just for pack spawning. And according to the smart people over in the SiteCraft Discord server, that should be 85% of the pack spawning efficiency. So we should be seeing even more. Let's see. We'll see if it's like a visible change. I think it is. It seems like it's staying at mob cap, or not quite mob cap, but like in the 50s and 60s more often. Oh, there it goes. It hit mob cap. It's like every time it does a spawn, it spawns like more than at once. You know? Yeah, that's keeping the mob count a lot higher. Remember before it was dropping down even to like 20 sometimes? Yeah, this is much more. It's like more consistently at a higher amount of mobs. I noticed they sometimes wander onto the glass. They immediately turn around and run towards the egg though, so I don't really think it's a problem. Yeah, that was definitely worth it. That really wasn't a lot of work. It didn't take too long. I didn't even use up probably more than 9 stacks of glass either, so yeah, not bad. Definitely a good addition. Yeah, look at them go. Hopefully the storage can keep up, because this is kind of a somewhat janky storage system. Not the worst, but I mean, yeah, it's really all being carried by the middle 3 slices, you know? This is looking a lot better though. Yeah, let's watch this floor. Stuff's gonna spawn here soon. Yeah, look at that. You saw like 4 of them spawn there and there. That's what the pack spawning did. That's beautiful. So, there's actually something I kind of forgot at the beginning of the episode. I don't know how, because it was a really big deal. It was very important, and you probably immediately noticed it and asked why I didn't point anything out, but that is the changes I made to my starter base. So, if you remember, this used to be like a narrow little hallway that was basically just this, like a little entry. And now it's all this, yeah. So, I wanted to expand some, and I got a little bit carried away with a beacon. And yeah, we did some pretty serious remodeling. So it's looking a lot better though. I got nice access to my little carrot farm here. I got I got it going. And I even have this nice little button to get up to where my nether portal is now. Got a little room up here. And then we still have the same old downstairs area. It's been changed a little bit though. I added a workstation here. And I actually have a little bit of a secret. I can't show how you get in, but I will show what it is. So I'm gonna go open it. Alright, so I've opened it and you can already see right there that we have these little pearls floating. And this is the mechanism I used to close it. So basically super simple thing here. It's just a little monostable circuit and it controls three pistons that just retract and extend. Very simple. Now this is the cool thing though. So these are pearl stasis units. And what they allow you to do is basically just store a live pearl that you've thrown. So this is an actual pearl entity that we threw in there. You can see it's an entity with the hitboxes. One was thrown by me, and one was thrown by Monty, and we have a third one in case we ever want to use it. What this means is that if I'm here and Monty wants to meet me at my base, instead of having to travel like 200 blocks in the nether, I can just come in here and flip this trapdoor and she'll just be here, like instantly. And if she happens to be here and I'm just thousands of blocks away, she can again just flip the trapdoor and I'll just be here. And the plan is also to put one in her place, so that way she can summon me to her area and vice versa. And it won't completely cut down on nether travels obviously, but it will, you know, it'll just cut down on some of them and it'll be slightly lower rocket usage. All around good stuff. And really I just think they're interesting, even if it's not all that useful right now. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and lock it up, and I will see you shortly. Now, I actually have one more thing to show you in this episode, and basically it's that we made a slime farm. And I think that will have you completely caught up on what I've been doing on this server. So I'm gonna quickly fly over there and show it to you, and the design and all that, and get back with you in a second. So we made it to the slime farm, and I'm gonna just go ahead and show off the design. It's a very simple one, and you'll never guess who designed it. It was, once again, Logical Geek Boy, totally the sponsor of this episode. Yeah, so let's show it off real quick, because I did do it a little bit differently. So you can see we have a little bit of an item collection there, and then just some of the prep work. So Monty and I spent a few hours deleting this chunk. And if we look down here, we can see some slimes. It's pretty slow though, and it looks like the golem's being damaged. I'm gonna have to do something about that. So you can see that basically the slimes just see the golem and they get mad at him and they just jump into the campfires. If you didn't know, you don't even need trapdoors because slimes are just stupid. They have no AI actually. They just go towards things that they are mad at. So it is very easy to lure slimes around. And you can see even just one big slime makes a ton of slime. I have this place pretty well lit up for like spawns, so we're getting a decent amount of slime spawns, although I still have a lot of caves to light up underneath. I did do it right next to an ocean, which helped as well, but I didn't do all the caves just because it was getting late and I had to work the next day. So I'll probably get around to that later once I need more slime, but really this thing's been keeping up with my needs for now. So we can look at the caves real quick, and you can see there's not too much, but there are some, you know, and a lot of bad guys are spawning in them. So I'll have to go back and clear them later. But I mean, look at this, like there's a lot of slimes, you know. This is great. So this is basically covering me for the majority of my slime needs. Also, if you didn't know, basically underneath here I just have some hoppers, and they just lead into a dispenser that just spits them out and sends them up the item elevator here, and they just get sent into a hopper. Very simple setup here. So let's go ahead and look at how many items we have. This thing I've been AFK at this thing for like less than an hour beforehand, so like this is gonna be like not a ton. I take back everything I said, it's a ton. Wow, so I'm surprised by how fast this is considering all the unlit up caves. That's actually really crazy. And yeah, the hopper setup even has an extra stack up here. I'm pretty happy with this thing. I might not even need to go and spawn proof the rest of the caves for a while. You can see I had to place a lot of torches on the surface though, otherwise it would just be complete garbage in the nighttime. So I think I'm just going to pack up these slime blocks and call it done.